Hello mentors! This week we're going to look at lesson 9, Dash Robotics. First thing I'm going to do as always is look through the materials with you guys. So in your bag you should have some dry erase pens as well as start and finish markers. There's yellow group start and finish start markers and blue group start and finish markers. You'll have some Cartesian planes that are laminated to use with your dry erase. There's also worksheets that you'll have. You'll have yellow group worksheets, blue group worksheets. There is tarps. And last but not least, we have Dash and our Kindle 7s. So in the prior prep, you will have to make sure that these are paired together. You'll turn on the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and have them connect. You'll also need on here to make sure you have downloaded the Wonder app and Blockly app. And then you'll also in the prior, you'll have to set this tarp up somewhere. It's quite big, so you'll need a kind of open space for it. And you'll open it up and spread it out somewhere. So this lesson can be broken up into 5 steps. The first step is to give the cultural background. You can use the PowerPoint on robots to help you deliver the background. So the information on there is basically explaining how we use robots and how robots are involved in our lives today. Some examples are like the Roomba. They use it to vacuum your house now. You don't even have to vacuum your house with a vacuum. You can just turn this on and it'll just go around cleaning your floors. Other places robots are used are in surgeries. People use them to perform surgeries. They're very precise mechanisms, that's why. Here too, you can also explain how none of these robots would have been developed, or the advancement of robots wouldn't be where it is today without mathematics. Also in step 1, you can start grouping the students into groups of 3 and 4 students. Then you can go on to step 2. Step 2 is to explain to them what they'll be doing and the Dash challenges that they'll have ahead of them. You can show them the tarp as well and explain how each unit is 15 centimeters. Then in step 3 and 4, you want to give the pre-assessment and break them up into blue and yellow group. In step 5, you're going to begin the Dash challenges. What you want to do is hand out challenge 1 and the example challenge to each group. And you want to hand out one of each different type. So for instance, if we look at these examples, blue group one member will get group A, one member will get group B, one member will get number C, and one will get D. This way, all the students will have a different worksheet and they can't just copy down. Well, I can't have one person finding all the answers and then just copying it down. So you'll give each group member a different group worksheet, and then you'll take them through the example of group challenge number 1, and then students will do the worksheet on their own. You'll also want to put down their start markers at this point on the tarp, and once they find the answer for the first problem, this will be their first round, you can have one member drive the Dash to the answer, and then you just verify whether or not that answer is correct. I'll show you guys the app in a little bit and how they can drive Dash. Then after challenge 1, challenge 2, you'll give them the challenge 2 worksheet and a Cartesian plane. They'll need this to graph their work and figure out the answers. So in challenge 2, what they'll do is they'll graph equations of a line and try to see graphically where they intersect. Then the same thing, though, from their start markers that you put down, they'll drive Dash to the point of intersection and you verify whether or not the answer is correct. And then in challenge 3, you'll have to put down the finish markers, and what they'll do is they'll graph a line and they'll avoid the shaded region. So they'll put this into their slope intercept form with their inequality, and then they'll find out which area on the map they should avoid, and then they'll drive Dash from start to the finish. Before they start in this round, in this challenge, should inform you before they start so that you can verify whether or not they are actually avoiding the shaded region like they're supposed to. So every challenge will have 4 rounds at least. I think there's also more questions. Yeah, there's more questions. You can do more rounds if time allows, but you should try to do at least 4 rounds for each challenge. Yellow is very similar in setup, but they do a little bit of different math concepts. So yellow group, challenge 1, they'll be doing finding graphically the equations, intersections of lines. So you'll have you put on their start markers, you give them their yellow group challenge 1, and their yellow group challenge example worksheets. And it's the same deal here where every group member will get a different worksheet. So there should be A, B, C, and D in here. C and D. And again, this is so that students can't have one person finding all the answers and then just copying that one person. So they'll need to their dry erase pens here too. You'll have them find answers, and from their start markers, drive to the correct answer, and you verify. And challenge 2, students will be calculating midpoints. So they'll graph all 4 lines, and then they'll find the midpoints between the intersections of each line. And again, driving from their start markers to the midpoints. And each challenge as well, they should be also doing you should be taking them through the examples. So when you give this challenge 2 worksheet, you should take them through challenge 2 example. And then after that, they'll do the 3rd challenge, which this one looks more like a map. And what they'll do is there's shaded regions on here, and what they want to do is figure out from start to finish what is the shortest distance that the dash can possibly travel to get from start to finish. And then they will drive dash from that point, from their starts to their finish, and they'll calculate what distance it is that he had traveled. So you'll have to take them through example 3 and show them how to calculate distance of lines. So before we close out this video, I want to show you guys how to use the app on the Kindle Fire 7s and how it works with Dash. So there's 2 ways that you can drive Dash. You can drive Dash using a more computer program style, or you can drive it using more remote control style. So if you want to use it with more of a computer programming, you use an app called Blockly. So if you open Blockly, you can see here that there is what basically is coding, and you can see that you can make it start, turn left, turn right, and all you have to do is really connect these blocks together. So this block, since it's not connected here, it won't work. You have to make sure it's connected. And how you get these blocks is all on the sides here. There's things like drive, and you can, if you want to go backwards, and you click on the backwards, it'll ask you how far back you want it to go, and you can see that it changes here in centimeters. And so as I mentioned in the beginning, that the tarp, each unit is 15 centimeters, so that will help here. If you want them to run the program, you press the start button here, but before that you have to make sure they're paired. So first thing you need to do is make sure Dash is on.
Howdy do.
And then you'll make it search for Dash. Once it finds Dash, you'll pair it. And once it's paired, you can press start and he'll perform the task you've given him. I don't want him to fall off the table, so I'll stop it there. But now, if you want to drive him with just a controller version, like using a remote control, you want to go to the Wonder app. So this app here, actually when you first open it, you'll come to this page and you'll see here the button for controller. So we'll tap on the controller, and now you can control Dash. One of it turns his head, so you can make him swivel and look around, and one drives him like I said. So you can use the controllers to drive Dash. Another thing that Dash can do here is you can make him speak. Yeah, all these different buttons here makes him do something different. So play around with it. Definitely familiarize yourself with it. So if students have questions, you can answer it. I think that's it. So don't forget to give the post assessment and then do your wrap up. Good luck, have fun. We'll see you next time.